It seems inspired action has arrived and it's making your to-do list look really big. Either long, like a lot of things, or big as in big leap, big jump, big risk. And we're going to talk about that to-do list today to help you feel confident and comfortable and clear with all those things that you're about to check off that list. Let's get into our 7 messages about your to-do list. Message 1 is for those of us who are listening to this episode and we're like, nah, I don't really feel like this resonates, but I'm listening to it anyways. There's probably a lot of us that saw the title and we were like, no, that's like not for me. And the message number 1 is that you might not think this is for you because there's some sort of project that you have been avoiding, or you think that it can be pushed until later. Like almost like maybe you've received a messages, you're supposed to kind of move forward on a project, or you're supposed to get something done, but you kind of think you have more time than you do. And your guides are like, the time has arrived. It's now. It's this month. It's this week. It's time. So if you're not resonating with this, I would sit and really ask yourself if there is something that you have been kind of nudged towards, but it's a little overwhelming. So like your mind is kind of short-circuiting when you think about getting it done or how it would get done. So you just kind of don't think about it and you go to the next thing, right? So this is really about making the decision to move forward on this thing. And we haven't released our April predictions yet, but there's actually something that ties in from here to the April predictions. I was actually seeing in April, like those of us who don't move forward on what we know we're being called to, we're going to start to see some complications in April. So I don't mean to scare you, but whatever makes you motivated, I'm here for it. But it's something about you feeling nudged. It feels very spirit guide here. Like this is like the spirit guide. Like these are the angels that are like, hey, like move forward on that thing. It's time. And we're just like, I just have no idea how I'm going to do it or how it gets done. So I'll just stick to whatever it is that I'm comfortable with. This feels very much like a new project. And it could also be the final push of something. So almost like I am birthing, I'm pushing this thing out. So maybe you've been kind of working on it, not realizing that you have been working on it, but now you're getting to a place where you have to make like these final decisions and take it seriously and kind of wrap it up and push out. And that is what's making this to-do list look almost a little bit more pressury, like it actually matters now. So starting with message number 1, hope that's not too harsh, but really to look at some of the things maybe that we're been avoiding. Message number 2, speaking of pressure, this one is about breathing. So maybe you do know that to-do list, like maybe you already have the to-do list, or maybe you are like, yeah, damn, Nikki, you're calling me out. Like, why do I feel like you're calling me out so much? And now it moves us to like, yeah, I'm nervous about it. It's overwhelming. It's something new. I'm not really sure. And it's funny, this is not really like, I'm not sure it's not going to work out. Like, I don't feel like that's where your mind is at. It's more like, I'm not sure I'm capable of getting this done. And almost my body isn't settled enough for me to take all these steps. So that's what message number 2 is about. It's about breathing because it's actually about the body. So it's about like being able to sit down and like do the thing, right? So maybe you're like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, and that's going to require 7 videos. But even before those 7 videos, you have to write scripts. But it's hard to actually sit down and write the scripts, or it's like hard to actually turn on the camera, get my hair done, whatever, and be able to do the videos. So that's what this message is about. This message is that before we even think about tackling the to-do list, it's really about reconnecting with your body and kind of stepping back into your body and be like, oh, hello, here's my body. Oh, my body's like a little nervous. It has this like kind of anxious, fast energy that is blowing me up and not really letting me like sit comfortably into this. So kind of breathing through that, reconnecting to the body, feeling your toes, feeling your legs, feeling your hips, breathing through slowly and just doing one thing at a time. I did see that there is some sort of course, pressure around this, whether it's like pressure to get it right or even just pressure to get it done. But I'm getting like there's no need for pressure, that this is more being present and moving slowly. So actually, it might look like a long list that you only have, let's say, 2 weeks to do. But what's interesting is that those, even if it's like a short deadline, like you only have 2 weeks, I really did see that it was going to be this slow process of being like, okay, I'm sitting in my body. We're going to do this one step first. And there's this kindness and this love that you're bringing to the table with this. And that is actually like the true purpose of this push, of this kind of like pressury to-do list. It's actually an act of self-love, because my sense is like you have knocked things off the list before, you have accomplished things, but there's a depth to this one. So it makes me think about my first book, The Final Swipe, which is a dating book, versus the second book, Soul Led Living. My first book was a bit easier to write because it was dating and I had already passed that stage. I had been teaching dating a lot, and it really was a small book. Like I kind of just knocked it out. It wasn't like deeply, I don't know, vulnerable for me or anything like that. And I wrote it quickly, And then the next book, which was Soul Led Living, which I wrote 2 years ago, I remember being like, I want to get to the depths of what I have to say. So I could have written that book with just like a few sentences like on the surface, but I wanted to go deeper than the last time. Like I know that there was more to give, let's say, the first time I wrote, but it was perfect because it was like the first book. And in the second book, I was really trying to challenge myself to see if I can go deeper into each sentence. So like maybe this one sentence came out naturally, but I was like, okay, how can I go deeper into that topic or into that concept? And it required a lot more of me settling into my body and actually sitting down and moving, getting it done. So that's what this feels like quality over quantity, right? And that this is not about going fast and just getting it done. This is about doing it well, like the way that you want to do it. It's like, I'm going to do this thing in a healthy manner. I'm going to do this with depth. I'm going to see if I can get it as good as possible, because what's funny is that some of the overwhelmment about the to-do list have to do with perfectionism. It's like, oh, well, I'm afraid that it's not going to be perfect. And I'm not going to do it because it's not going to be perfect. And it's like, that is such a wimpy way, guys, for us to like look at our goals. First of all, of course, it's not going to be perfect, but that doesn't mean that we don't try, that we don't go for excellence, right? So it feels like the thing about this go around, or this time that you're going to kind of attack this to-do list, is really about excellence. Like it looks like part of what's been holding you back is like, it's going to take a little bit of time because you want to do it well. And that's what this is about. It's about going deep and breathing. So like fast breaths are like, oh, just trying to get it over with, like going on that roller coaster, closing my eyes and it being done. Instead of being like, no, I'm going to feel every movement. I'm going to breathe through every movement, and I'm going to get like the depth of whatever's within me, whatever's in my, whatever's in my creativity or all that. So I'm excited about this because it feels like you're not a stranger to getting things done. It's just you might have not done it so well, and you're going to do this well, which is very exciting. But it has to be with deep breaths rather than short, can't sit still breaths. Like it really is about becoming present. And that's what we get at the end of this exercise. We get a deeper sense of connection to ourselves, to our body, and a depth that wasn't available to us. So that's what this is. That's what this is really about. Message number 3. You're gonna have a tendency to look for emotional support outside of you, because in the past, this is what you have done. In order to get things done that have been overwhelming, you have sought out emotional support outside of you, which was exactly what was needed at the time. Amazing. But now it seems like another kind of spiritual lesson to do with this to-do list situation is that you are going to learn to hold yourself emotionally through doing something hard. That doesn't mean that you don't lean on other people outside of you, or you don't include people in the process, or you don't have support or people that you brainstorm with. But most importantly, it's your emotional capacity is more matured now. It is deeper. And you're going to be able to do this well because of this kind of root work that you've been doing on your emotions and like what you're able to hold. Because this is, I don't want to spoil the last message. I'm like, how do I not spoil the last message? But this is like going to open your capacity basically. Like this to-do list is important because it's about to open like what's available and possible for you. Which is so exciting, but it seems like you haven't been able to do it before because you didn't have this emotional maturity. You have prepared yourself, you have done the hard work, you have a level of emotional maturity to be able to do this. But one of the things you're going to want to do is as you're going through this, it's going to be, scary and all the things, but you're going to want to come back to yourself and be a good mother to yourself and be like, okay, like how can I love on myself? Like, okay, all those things I learned in therapy or all those things I've learned from that, course that I took, like how can I really put it into play? So it's going to be kind of a test to all the work you have invested in yourself in the past to bring it here. So, which is so like, you're going to be so proud of yourself because of that. So really being able to support yourself emotionally. I think the other message here is how can I support myself emotionally? Like I know I'm about to do a hard thing. I know that I'm avoiding this to-do list or I'm avoiding this task or this project because I'm scared. Okay, great. That doesn't mean I don't do it just because I'm not scared. So how do I make a plan for myself emotionally? Does that mean I double down on my the things that I do, like, do I double down on my meditation? Do I make sure that I'm meeting with my therapist every week? What is it that I'm doing to really protect myself as I go into this? So it's really about setting yourself up so that your emotions can be cared for during this time. Speaking of my book, Soul Led Living, like I was in deep therapy during that time because there's just no way I would have been able to get through that book without meeting with my therapist every week because it was just, it felt like a really big thing to come out of me. So some sort of support system, leaning on yourself, like putting those tools into practice, but also making it baby proof, your baby's about to walk, your toddler's about to start like knocking shit down. You're going to baby proof that house. So we know you're going to knock things down. We know you're going to be sloppy and you're going to be scared. And so, but before we go towards that, how do we baby proof the room? And that really is what this message is about. Message number 4. I see you looking at this to-do list and possibly asking yourself like, okay, who can I ask for help with this? Like, who can I hire this out to? Or like, maybe I can, hire this person. Or it's kind of like, almost like I'm about to have a baby and it's like, who are all the people that I can hire so that I don't have to take care of the baby, That's different obviously than like having help and nannies and that kind of stuff. But this feels like there's a part of you that's wondering if you can outsource a lot of it, which is of course a boss thing to do, right? Like, gosh, I outsource so much in my life. So it's definitely like a boss thing to do. But what's interesting about this to-do list, it feels a little bit different than things that can actually be outsourced. It feels like it really is going to be fueled by your creative energy. So an example would be like, I might be staring at a curriculum that I need to make for a program. And there might be a part of me like, oh, I wonder if I can ask ChatGPT to do it for me, or like maybe I can ask my assistant to do it for me, or like, oh, I know this consultant, like maybe she can make the curriculum. And it's not that the answer is no. All of those people could, including the AI, could make the curriculum for me. But the thing is, that curriculum has to come through me because that is how my brand works. That's how this is going to do its best. That is what's being called, like this is not a generic product, let's say. Like this is a product that is coming from my energy because that's what works at the end of the day. Like I'm in business with my name and people are attracted to me. So it has to come from my creativity. So that's what this feels like. So for example, like maybe I might want to outsource my baby's nursery. Like let's say I'm going to have a baby and I need some help with doing the interior design. Yes, you can get like some help, but it looks like the actual vision is really going to come from you. It's like, it is your creative energy. It's your creative source that's going to bring this thing to life. So the help that you're going to get is going to be more technical and tactical, things that you can outsource that have nothing to do with like the creativity of this process. So right now we're rebranding my website. We're building a whole new website, and I'm working with my amazing right hand assistant Kat, who's building it with me. And she is definitely, I would say, like more design savvy than I would for sure. She's done all the design and the tech, but weirdly enough, in this website, somehow I hold the vision, like somehow which is like new for me. So I've had to go into the website and like change the fonts or like basically start like banners and thumbnails. I'm not going to be the final say because I don't have the precision to put some of that stuff together, but I'm putting like my vision as much as I can on paper and then presenting it, which is so different than what I've done in the past. And it looks like it just has to come from there. Like it has to come from inside of me. And that's not true for everything that we do, right? Like that's not true for every to-do list that we have. But in this case, it seems like this to-do list is a creative expression of you. It's an extension of your energy. It's an extension of your love. It's an extension of you. So it's like you just can't go around this one, and just making sure that the things that you are handing off, they have to be kind of like it almost makes me feel like you're about to dunk, and like you might have like an assist, but at the end of the day, like you made that dunk, you know? So it's something like that. It's like maybe you give some of these like finishing details. For example, my husband Benny is like building these houses right now, and he has done like all the big picture stuff, but he definitely brings in a ton of people to do details, especially like, let's say like painting. Like he doesn't like to paint. He's not detail oriented in that way. So he's kind of bringing these people to like do finishing touches to just make it look beautiful. And that's what this feels like. So as much as I know we want to hand things off, and just like as entrepreneurs, that's usually like our go-to, of course, like how can this is a creative vision, an extension of you, an extension of your energy. And then you pass things off after you can explain your vision. Message number 5. So this to-do list is going to consume you, it looks like, for the next 6 or 8 weeks. It really feels, it's the type of to-do list that looks like it comes, either you might be like starting the project right now and finishing it up in 8 weeks, or you are at the end of something that you've known you've been working on and you're about to push, like the end of pregnancy, you know, you're about to go into labor and you're about to push. So this is really going to consume you. And I think that might surprise you that for the next few weeks, like there's not going to be like a lot of space or time to be as social or as flowy as you might like it, or maybe that you've been in the past. There's something kind of regimented about what you're about to do. And for example, like we're going to go into spring break. I know some of my friends have already been on spring break, but my kids are going to go in a couple of weeks. And, you know, maybe that's like typically a very social time, but I know I'm working on some stuff that I'll probably be working on those things and not doing such a big spring break as we usually do. So there's something like that. It makes me feel like you're going to be working like an athlete. So you're going to be performing, like working hard, and then you're going to rest, a ton of rest. Like there's a need for rest here. But what's interesting about the rest is that it feels like it can't be very social. Like it looks like you won't be able to be around as many people as you like, that as you are typically in your life. That you're going to kind of have to keep it tight for this time. It's like, again, if you were at the end of pregnancy and, you know, like you're just not going to put yourself out there. You're feeling uncomfortable. You're huge. You know, you need to get this done. You might go see your parents. You might go see some like really, really close friends, but you're definitely not going to like a club, you know? You're not going, I don't know, to the movie theaters or something where there's a lot of people. So it feels like the rest that you do take is a little bit, almost like antisocial. So to not expect something different because you may be used to having a little bit more of a social schedule, and it seems like just for now, for the next 6 or 8 weeks, you might have to say no to a lot of things and kind of pay and just get this done. And then, you know, at the end of that, you'll kind of come out, like you'll have a very coming out for the summer, you know, and being very social, but there's a need to incubate this and get it done. Message number 6. Something about this project that you're working on makes me feel like you, in a perfect world, would love to test this and almost like little by little let it out, which is, as an entrepreneur, is something that we do all the time, right? Like kind of like a beta test, or you're putting it out a little bit. Maybe it's like I'm rebranding my website, and maybe I'll just put out the home page at first, and then I'll work on the other pages later. And there are times that is absolutely what needs to be done, but this project or this to-do list in particular does not feel like that is going to be helpful. I feel like you have to build the structure. Like the structure is very important of putting this together and really trying to take it as far as possible. So let's bring Benny's project again. He's finishing up 2 houses right now, but let's just think about 1 house. And maybe he's like, oh, well, I don't have to like finish this thing up in the kitchen. I'll do it later. I'm going to start renting it now and see how people like it. Like I'm going to Airbnb it and see if people like it. But then later I'm going to have to go and like fix what I didn't get done in the kitchen. While that might be okay, and it's not really like, maybe he'll be like, okay, well then I can't rent it for 3 weeks because I got to finish that kitchen thing, and then I'll rent it again. And it just seems like in this case that is not going to be supportive. Like I actually see you just finishing it as much as you can, like actually truly completing it and really presenting it as like your first viable product. So just being like, this is like the best first product. So it makes me think about like maybe writing a book proposal, right? Like there might be a part of you that's, I don't know, let's say there's 10 sections in a book proposal, and just be like, oh, well, I got 6 done. Now I'm going to present it to my agent. And I'm like, no. Get all 10 done. This is the best you could do right now from where you are. Then present it to the agent. And then there will be revisions or there will be fixes, but really complete it. This doesn't feel like a beta test type. This feels more like you're setting up some sort of structure that needs to be built out. And the structure just is going to allow what is next to come in. And the structure itself, like the way people move through the thing, or the journey of like the customer, or the way things are built out, is actually what is going to let you know if this product is working well and like what needs to be tweaked. So it's like saying like Benny has to have the complete house finished. There can't be like one room that's not done, to really see how people are using the house. And then there may be tweaks from there. So try to, not lie to yourself, because our brains will do that, especially towards the end. We'll be like, okay, I'm almost done, but like not this 20%. Like I'll leave this 20% for later. I'm going to launch just like this, or I'm going to release the product just like this, and I'll do the 20% later. It feels like no, like completely finish it, wrap it up. Like this isn't really a place where you test things. And deeper into that message is that the structure, like the way that it's laid out, is the most important thing. So perhaps like you have a really solid structure, and the branding, you've done it yourself on Canva, and then in a few months you're going to pay somebody to do the actual logo or something. So that seems like in alignment with this message, but not leaving out the structure, if that makes sense. And then lastly, message number 7, I was asking, well, like, why does this to-do list matter? We always have to-do lists, right? Like I always have a running to-do list. This to-do list is definitely different because it's a start and finish type of to-do list, where, our real to-do list that happens every day is very much ongoing. Like as much as you want to get it all done, something else always pops up. This feels more like a to-do list for some sort of project. There's a start and a finish to this. And this is so important. The reason it's coming up right now, kind of I alluded to it in the other messages, but you're about to hold more. Like whether that's like you're about to hold more money, you're about to hold more customer, you're about to hold more praise. Like there is a spotlight that does want to come in around the summer, the fall. I have goosebumps. We're going to see it like towards, the second half of the year, but it just can't come in without this opening. It's like you're opening a door that didn't exist before. And that door is very much where that light is going to seep into. It's like almost like you've had a room and you're putting in a window, let's say, and there's always been light there, but you just haven't had the right window. And now you put a window and all this light starts to come in. To me, the light is like spotlight, it's attention, it's money, it's fame, it's all the good like Leo stuff, you know? That's why I'm like, it's like summer, fall is where I see this. And abundance, you know, just joy and abundance and the things that you're gonna bring in. So this is very necessary. That's what this is about. And it almost just looks like the other things that you have been doing, while they've been great, it's like they're not scalable is kind of one of the things that I'm seeing. And maybe it's just, I don't want to say this word, but it's like not as special as what you're about to do. Like maybe what you have been doing, there's a ton of competition and there's a lot of people like doing something similar. But what you're about to do adds this like specialness to what you do. It adds like a uniqueness. It really adds like a spin on something that other people are doing that's available, or even just a spin on what you have been doing, but you add like an umph to it, and that's actually like what gets it attention. I think about my days as an editor, and my job was to find like interesting stories, and let's say I wanted to write something about a clothing designer. I was just always looking for the most interesting clothing designer, and it's hard to tell what makes that clothing designer interesting because obviously they're all making clothes. But sometimes it was like a weird thing, you know, it might be like where they're from, or maybe it's like how they make the clothes, like what their studio space looks like. Like usually there's something kind of quirky and like different about the person that makes them interesting enough to give them that spotlight. And that's what this feels like to me. So you're opening up something that makes you look kind of special, you know, that really gives you an advantage in what you've already been doing. So that's why that's important. And that's also why there's going to feel like this pressure to get the to-do list down, because there is a little bit of a window. Like the window looks like it's in the summer, like it looks like it's in the fall. It looks like there's opportunity to be noticed, and you have to be able to like finish the project, work out the kinks over the next, couple months or whatever to make it better, so that by the time there's opportunity in the summer or sorry guys, I forget that not everybody's in the part of the world that I'm at, but in July, August, September, October, even November, like when that like light is like looking for a place to land, that you're ready for it. So that's why, yeah, there is pressure and there is this need to get it done, and there is this need to get it done soon. Like I said, 6 to 8 weeks is kind of what I'm feeling. So it's exciting, and I hope that that's what this is about, that like you just put your head down, get it done, have some fun, let yourself learn all the spiritual lessons that are here, because in addition to reaping the rewards later on in the year, also there's just a ton of spiritual reward that's going to come here. I see it being hard, but I see it being very rewarding at the same time. So I hope that you meet your to-do list with a ton of bravery and optimism and excitement, and a lot of trust, just knowing that like, yeah, I know I need to get this thing done, even though I may not know exactly what I'm doing or like what are the perfect steps, but every day I'm going to be like very focused and very engaged with this to-do list, so that I can just move forward and knock things off. So I can't wait. I hope that was helpful, guys. I love you so much. Tell me what you're working on. Leave a comment. I'm just seeing that you guys are leaving comments on Spotify. I'm so sorry. I did not even know that that was possible. And I didn't even have like a login to see it, so I can't respond yet. But it's amazing. Like I love seeing the comments here. Thank you so much. I'm also getting some on DMs, which is so great. I'm just really grateful to see how much it's landing with all of you, and also on YouTube. So thank you. I always love to see like how this is landing. I love the specific stories too. So yeah, what is your to-do list? Like what is it that you're working on? I always love hearing those things. So thank you so much. I send you a ton of love, and I will see you in the next episode.